In the heart of Jerusalem, a haunting sound pierces the air, signaling the arrival of Shabbat. Yet, beneath its surface lies a deeper resonance, echoing the fears and anxieties of a world on edge. The locust, feared and formidable, emerges as a harbinger of ecological turmoil in the Middle East. Amidst the relentless onslaught of ecological crises, Jerusalem stands as a crucible of challenges. Where once tornadoes and storms reigned, now a new trinity of terrors has emerged. Hailstorms rage, shattering windows and pummeling crops, while earthquakes threaten to reshape familiar landscapes in mere moments. But perhaps most chilling of all is the relentless descent of locust swarms, devouring fields in hours, leaving devastation in their wake. Yet, amidst this visible menace, lurks a subtler threat: disease-carrying insects, weaving a web of peril that imperils the very fabric of society. As the echoes of prophecy resound, a solemn admonition emerges for those who heed the teachings of Jesus. The ancient prophecies foretell a time of great tribulation, where nations crumble, seas seethe, and the sun blazes with an intensity that consumes all in its path. Famine, pestilence, and dreadful beasts stand poised to inflict anguish and death upon a world engulfed in wickedness. Join us as we unravel the enigma of Jerusalem's recent woes, a tale that transcends borders and sends shivers down the spine of humanity. Welcome to a world where what just appeared in Jerusalem echoes a warning heard round the globe. As we observe these prophetic events gradually unfolding, it prompts us to ponder whether these occurrences signify the initial stages of transformation or serve as harbingers of the impending destruction of a world fraught with flames and suffering. In the early days of April, it seemed as though the ancient manuscripts had sprung to life once again, as the world bore witness to a series of natural phenomena that defied convention. From the torrential rains inundating vast expanses to relentless hailstorms in Dubai and tornadoes in the United States, extraordinary events unfolded across the globe. However, nestled in the heart of Jerusalem, the sacred city, an event transpired that would leave an indelible mark on both the annals of history and the contemporary discourse. Jerusalem, a city where echoes of the past linger in every breath, emerged as the focal point of extraordinary happenings. Videos capturing what many interpreted as celestial trumpets, reverberating through the heavens, and images purportedly depicting the likeness of Jesus amidst the clouds swiftly circulated, stirring the hearts of multitudes and igniting inquiries that transcended mere curiosity. The world turned its collective gaze toward Jerusalem, yet it was the earth itself that bore witness to the ensuing extraordinary phenomenon. Here, a legion arose not of soldiers wielding arms, but of locusts awakening from their two-decade dormancy. As these creatures ascended into the skies, they amassed into a colossal cloud that veiled the sun, serving as a tangible reminder of the biblical plagues of yore. This was not a scene scripted by filmmakers, but the stark reality unfolding in Israel in the year 2024, an era defined by an occurrence so infrequent that its previous happening predates the recollections of those alive today. The emergence of this locust swarm in Jerusalem has sparked conversations about divine signals, with numerous individuals interpreting it as a contemporary embodiment of the marvels and portents chronicled in sacred texts. These manifestations, reminiscent of the extraordinary star that guided the Magi or the pillar of fire that guided the Israelites, evoke recollections of an era when the divine intervened in the destinies of nations. They stand as potent symbols, captivating the minds of those who perceive within them a heralding of profound spiritual transformations. However, within the wonder and enigma, there also arises a summons to vigilance and readiness. The earthquake and turmoil prophesied in apocalyptic visions have been symbolically associated with the tangible outcomes of natural calamities, political unrest, and ecological decline. While nations may not physically collapse and seas may not literally boil, the essence of these trials serves as a reminder of the Earth's vulnerability and humanity's responsibility in its care. The arid landscape of Israel, especially in the Negev region, provides the backdrop for the emergence of locusts. These insects, typically dormant, can transform into an unstoppable phenomenon under specific circumstances. rainfall following a period of drought, warmth to accelerate their development. All these elements combine to awaken a dormant threat in our era, observed with a blend of scientific comprehension and marvel at the unpredictable might of nature. The diminishing waters of the Euphrates and Tigris, as previously explored in our discussion of the region's water challenges, add complexity to the current situation. These rivers, once vital to ancient civilizations, now mirror a shifting landscape that could fuel regional instability, worsen water scarcity, and upset fragile political equilibrium. Such transformations might indirectly impact Israel's security and humanitarian endeavors, imposing unforeseen challenges on its society as agricultural productivity declines and economies struggle. Amidst these changes, the teachings of Christ resonate as a poignant reminder, a cautionary note about conflicts, disruptions, and afflictions which he foresaw as heralds of his eventual return. Before we embark on this captivating journey of exploration, let me share a vital insight. Israel is akin to a treasure trove of history, reminiscent of the ancient tales of medieval knights brimming with stories. Here, countless millennia of narratives, legends, and spiritual significance intertwine. This sacred land has seen the entirety of human existence unfold, from the monumental events chronicled in the Bible to the epic clashes of civilizations, and everything in between. It is a realm where every stone echoes the tales of past ages, where ancient structures hold the secrets of antiquity, and where the very air thrums with mystery. In the remarkable tales of the Red Sea miraculous parting and the awe-inspiring accounts of prophets and their miracles, this land becomes a stage for divine intervention. Within the ancient mystique enveloping Israel, a compelling revelation emerges. The supernatural essence persists beyond the confines of time. It is not merely a relic of ancient times, but a living reality where the mystical and the spiritual continue to intertwine. Even in our modern era, consider the intriguing incident that unfolded over Jerusalem early this year. The Dome of the Rock, a cherished symbol of the city, experienced heavy rain, and the earthquake that devastated Turkey and Syria was also felt in the city. What the Dome of the Rock suffered during that terrible rain made believers constantly worry about this sacred site. A bolt of lightning hit the top of the dome, causing the entire land to flash. Not only that, but the earthquake that happened in this area at the same time brought significant threats to the safety of the dome. The ceramic tiles, measuring approximately 20 square meters, noted similar incidents when stones fell in the interior of the Al-Aqsa Mosque, the gray dome structure at the southern end of the Temple Mount. Regardless of the dam of such reports, one undeniable fact remains. The event ignited a fervent buzz of curiosity and discourse throughout the entire city. This event took place as a concrete sign for the return of Jesus. Isn't God about to return? Has God promised? Will he return to this sacred land? Earthquakes are the unsettling seismic events that unsettle the Earth's surface and can evoke a profound sense of fear and vulnerability. When the very ground we trust beneath our feet suddenly becomes perilous, it can shake the foundation of our world. The Bible foretells various cataclysmic occurrences preceding the return of Christ, referred to as the end times. Heightened natural disasters loom ominously in the future. As we delve deeper, we will uncover a significant correlation between these disasters and divine admonitions for repentance. Among the signs heralding Christ's second coming, devastating earthquakes stand prominently in the prophecy. Jerusalem, the heart of Israel, consistently emerges as a pivotal figure in biblical narratives, often portrayed as a city in perpetual turmoil. Despite its strategic positioning and formidable defenses in antiquity, Jerusalem has seldom known prolonged periods of tranquility. Across its extensive chronicles spanning millennia, this sacred metropolis has been continuously under the watchful gaze of myriad nations, standing as a coveted prize, a magnet for contention. What distinguishes Jerusalem from all other urban centers? What enigmatic allure beckons humanity to this ancient locale, sparking conflicts that endure through the ages? Amidst the storied walls of the Western Wall, what unfolded within the ancient city's confines? What timeless verity did those who stood beneath its towering presence, gazing heavenward, come to apprehend? One might posit that Jerusalem's significance lies in its unique status as the sole city in human history repeatedly claimed by the three major monotheistic religions as their holy city. Consequently, Jerusalem symbolizes the earthly manifestation of divine presence, serving as a conduit between heaven and earth. Yet, let us not overlook the people themselves. Israelis embody resilience forged through centuries of triumphs and trials. Their steadfast faith and profound ties to their cultural heritage foster an environment charged with conviction and anticipation. It is within this milieu that the boundaries between the mundane and the miraculous often blur, giving rise to narratives that defy conventional logic. For the Jewish people, the land held sanctity even before their occupation, stemming from God's covenant with Abraham and later Moses, leading them to the promised land of Canaan, where Jerusalem was eventually established by King David. The construction of the temple and the placement of the ark therein were natural outcomes of this divine covenant. To Christians, Jerusalem is intrinsically holy due to its association with the passion and resurrection of Jesus. Within its walls, pilgrimages to the holy sites became a sacred obligation for European believers from the 4th century onwards. The call for a holy war by Pope Urban II in 1099 spurred the Crusaders' quest to reclaim Jerusalem from Muslim control. Despite the claims of Jews and Christians, Jerusalem remained under Muslim dominion for 13 centuries, until 1917, when the British, representing the West, wrested control from the Ottoman Empire. For Muslims, Jerusalem, known as Al-Quds, holds profound significance as the first Qibla or direction of prayer and ranks as the third holy city in Islam. Given its unique geographical and religious standing, events unfolding in Jerusalem today bear striking parallels to the signs foretelling Christ's second coming. Now, Israel itself has been the mother of all these strange events. One city in particular bears a strange atmosphere that seems to attract more of these occurrences than others. I'm talking about Jerusalem. Through the ages, Jerusalem has been woven into prophecies and tales of divine intervention. It is here that God's hand is said to be most keenly felt, especially in times of great darkness and trouble. Across millennia, the Jewish people have faced countless trials and tribulations, yet they have endured, buoyed by a belief in a higher power watching over them. Jerusalem has been bathed in a celestial glow, illuminated by lights that dance in the heavens with an ethereal grace. And yet, alongside these luminous manifestations, a symphony of otherworldly sounds echoes through the air, stirring the hearts of all who hear them. But these are not the only signs that grace the skies above Jerusalem. Even as the heavens shimmer with celestial light and resonate with celestial melody, the earth below bears witness to a different kind of marvel. A vast and unyielding flood sweeps across the land like Noah's Ark, leaving awe and wonder in its wake. Why are these once distant predictions now daily headlines? Why do the warnings engraved in biblical scriptures seem to manifest before our very eyes? Consider the prophecy from Luke 21:25. There will be signs in the sun, moon, and stars, and on the earth nations will be in anguish and perplexity at the roaring and tossing of the sea. This ancient text mirrors our modern-day turmoil, where natural forces unleash chaos, sparing no coast, no city, no soul. The ground beneath us is not just sinking. It's a sign, a symptom of the greater peril we face due to our own negligence and greed. Are we to blame for this upheaval? Have our actions invited these disasters? Today, we delve into the unsettling reality of our greatest sacred land, sinking into the sea, not merely from natural causes, but propelled by human hands. This journey we undertake is not just to observe and report, but to confront the hard truths of our times. The seas do not just rise, they threaten our lands. They do not merely sink, they are worn away. As we connect these catastrophic changes to prophetic words, it becomes clear these are not random events, but a call, a desperate plea for us to wake up and change. We are sinking right now. Across our planet, cities are experiencing an alarming phenomenon. They're sinking. Not in some futuristic scenario, but here today, in places we call home. From the bustling streets of Tel Aviv to the historic waterways of Gushan, the ground beneath millions is giving way, and the implications are profound. As we consider these sinking cities, let's reflect on a passage from the Bible, Psalm 82:5, which says, "They know nothing, they understand nothing. They walk about in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are shaken." This verse speaks to our current plight. Our land, our very foundation, is literally and figuratively shaking. This isn't just about land disappearing beneath our feet. It's about the wake-up call we're being given. Are we listening to what these sinking cities are teaching us about how we live, how we build, how we interact with our environment? The stories of these cities are urgent and compelling, urging us to rethink our choices and our legacy. As we observe cities like Gushan, Tel Aviv, Pet Tikva, Dubai, and Mecca grappling with the phenomenon of sinking, it's crucial to explore not just the why, but the how it affects the daily lives of millions. As we ponder these earthly challenges, let's reflect on a passage from Matthew 7:26-27, which says, "But everyone who hears these words of mine and does not put them into practice is like a foolish man who built his house on sand. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against that house, and it fell with a great crash." Here, the Bible warns us of the folly of building our lives and homes without heeding foundational truths and practices. How starkly this mirrors our current plight. Our cities, our communities are built on shaky grounds, both literally and metaphorically. The infrastructural collapse, housing crisis, and public health emergencies we face are not just physical issues. They are manifestations of deeper, perhaps ignored spiritual and communal issues. So, as we navigate these sinking cities, let's ask ourselves, are we listening? Are we preparing? Are we building our communities on solid rock or sinking sand? The answers to these questions might just determine the future of our cities, and indeed our very survival. The Bible has warned us. As we stand at the crossroads of unprecedented global upheaval, let's pause and reflect on the profound words of Luke 21:25. "There will be signs in the sun, moon, and stars, and on the earth nations will be in anguish and perplexity at the..." The sinking of our cities is not merely a consequence of geological processes. It's a symptom of a deeper malaise, a crisis of stewardship and morality that reverberates through our societies and ecosystems. To truly understand the gravity of our situation, we must examine it through the lens of both science and spirituality, recognizing the interconnectedness of our actions and their consequences. Science offers us a rational understanding of the physical mechanisms driving the sinking of our cities. Groundwater extraction, a practice essential for sustaining urban populations, inadvertently destabilizes the ground beneath our feet. As aquifers are depleted faster than they can replenish, the land above them subsides, leading to the gradual sinking of cities. Moreover, urbanization exacerbates this phenomenon, as the construction of heavy infrastructure and impermeable surfaces prevents rainwater from replenishing groundwater reserves, further accelerating subsidence. Yet, beyond the realm of physical causation lies a deeper truth illuminated by spiritual wisdom: the moral dimensions of our ecological crisis. Ancient texts such as the Bible warn us of the consequences of greed and neglect, urging us to recognize our interconnectedness with the earth and all its inhabitants. Jeremiah's lamentation, "How long will the land mourn for the wickedness of those who dwell in it?" speaks to the profound imbalance wrought by human exploitation of the natural world. Greed, driven by a relentless pursuit of profit and power, blinds us to the inherent value of the earth and its resources. It leads to the overextraction of groundwater, the destruction of forests, and the pollution of rivers and oceans. In our quest for short-term gain, we sacrifice the long-term health and sustainability of our planet, imperiling future generations and undermining the very foundations of life. This moral decay finds expression in the sinking of our cities, a tangible manifestation of our collective failure to honor our covenant of care with the earth. As skyscrapers sink into the ground and streets flood with polluted water, we are confronted with the consequences of our actions. We cannot continue to exploit the earth without consequence. The laws of nature demand retribution for our transgressions. Yet, even in the midst of this crisis, there is hope. The same spiritual texts that warn of impending doom also offer a path to redemption. They call upon us to repent, to acknowledge our sins, and to seek forgiveness. They remind us that we are not separate from nature, but intrinsically connected to it, part of a vast web of life that sustains us all. In the face of ecological collapse, we must heed these ancient teachings and chart a new course forward, one guided by humility, compassion, and reverence for the earth. We must recognize the inherent dignity of all beings and strive to live in harmony with the natural world, rather than seeking to dominate and exploit it. This journey of redemption will not be easy, but it is necessary if we are to avert catastrophe and build a sustainable future for ourselves and generations to come. It requires us to reevaluate our values, reassess our priorities, and reimagine our relationship with the earth. In the sinking of our cities, we are confronted with a stark choice: continue down the path of destruction or embrace a new way of being, one rooted in love, stewardship, and respect for all life. The choice is ours to make, but the consequences of our decision will reverberate far beyond our own lifetimes. May we choose wisely, for the sake of all beings and the future of our planet. In contemplating the ramifications of poor stewardship, it becomes evident that our failure to conserve, preserve, and respect the balance of nature is a reflection of our spiritual and moral negligence. The wisdom literature of various scriptures, such as Proverbs and Psalms, illuminates the care we should extend to all living things and warns of the harsh outcomes of neglect. These admonitions serve not only as historical reminders, but as urgent alerts for the present, urging us to assess the spiritual health of our communities in the face of modern plagues, like climatic upheavals, ecological collapses, and social injustices. Indeed, the implications of our choices ripple out to affect not just the natural world, but our very humanity. When we harm the planet, we not only damage the external environment, but also erode the internal landscapes of our ethics and values. This erosion manifests in the loss of community cohesion, heightened conflicts over resources, and deepening social inequities. As we reflect on the state of our world, it's crucial to consider not only the scientific or practical measures needed, but also the moral transformations required. Every act of conservation is not just an act of preservation for the environment, but for our moral core as well. Shifting our focus to the doorsteps of our communities, we witness firsthand the impact of environmental degradation and human action. In regions like the Mekong Delta or the coastal areas of Bangladesh, rising sea levels and increased flooding pose existential threats, leading to the inundation of homes, salting over of farmlands, and the displacement of entire neighborhoods. The plight of farmers in these regions, once prosperous from fertile floodplains, highlights not only a loss of income, but also a historic shift in livelihoods and sustenance. Migration becomes a necessity for many, leading to a cascade of socio-economic challenges. Similar disruptions are observed in major cities worldwide, where sinking land and recurrent floods strain infrastructure and overwhelm local governments. The societal strain is palpable as communities grapple with the urgent need for effective urban planning and disaster preparedness. Scriptural warnings, such as those found in Jeremiah, lament not only environmental devastation, but also tie it directly to human morality and stewardship. However, amidst the turmoil, there is resilience. Communities are banding together, drawing on both traditional knowledge and modern technology to safeguard their way of life. Yet, as we document stories of adaptation and resilience, we must question our role in this disruption. Are we contributors to the problem or active participants in the solution? The challenges are immense, requiring a unified, compassionate response. Looking towards the future, the prophetic warnings of scriptures like Revelation echo the potential consequences of our actions. Each environmental tragedy unfolds as a countdown to a foretold fate, where the earth cries out under the strain of human excess. The imagery of barren landscapes, dried rivers, and climate refugees seeking refuge paints a bleak picture of what could come to pass if we continue on our current trajectory. Natural disasters, such as wildfires and hurricanes, serve as modern-day parallels to biblical prophecies, reminding us of the signs and wonders heralding deeper shifts in our world. These events, while having natural explanations, also carry spiritual and moral implications, reflecting the consequences of our stewardship or lack thereof. The vivid imagery of the Book of Revelation, particularly concerning the trumpet blasts and the events they herald, has been a topic of fascination and interpretation for centuries. One of the most intriguing passages is found in Revelation 9, where a star falls from heaven and a series of events, including the release of a horde of locusts, unfolds. This passage has sparked various interpretations, ranging from metaphorical to literal. The star that falls from heaven is often interpreted as a fallen angel, given that it possesses the key to the abyss and releases the horde of locusts. These locusts, described in unusual terms resembling horses prepared for battle, with faces like humans, hair like women's hair, and teeth like lions' teeth, torment people for a period of 5 months. This vivid description has led to speculation about whether these are literal creatures, symbolic representations, or even futuristic technology like helicopters. Regardless of the interpretation, the significance of the trumpet blasts in Revelation cannot be overstated. Just as trumpets are used to make grand pronouncements, these trumpets in Revelation signify different types of judgments upon the earth during the Great Tribulation. Each blast announces a judgment, building up to the 7th and final trumpet, which heralds the return of Jesus Christ and the inauguration of the Kingdom of God on earth. Paul's writings in 1 Thessalonians and 1 Corinthians further emphasize the significance of the trumpet in the context of Christ's return and the resurrection of believers. The great sound of a trumpet accompanies Christ's descent from heaven, signaling the resurrection and glorification of Christ's followers. This event is not a secret, but a grand pronouncement of Christ's return and the transformation of believers into immortal beings. In Revelation, the 7th trumpet marks the culmination of divine wrath and the time of rewarding God's servants. It announces the return of Jesus Christ and the gathering of His resurrected followers. The timing of this event is intricately connected to other end-time events, including the Great Tribulation and the Day of the Lord.